Hello, my inspired friends. I'm Jennifer Ward, entrepreneur veteran turned entrepreneur cheerleader and creator of the Inspired Hub membership. It wasn't that long ago that I sat feeling very alone in my office, filled with doubts and worried about running my businesses and looking for support to break out of the bubble. My desire to find connections with others like me has led me down the path of discovery and has been the driving force behind my new membership hub. The Inspired Hub is a space designed to empower entrepreneurs to provide growth both personally and in your business, to give you access to training and knowledge for the tools you need most, and inspiration to create the business of your dreams. The doors to my membership will be opening soon, so visit inspired.pm to sign up on the mailing list today to receive an amazing founding member offer, as well as this Inspire Your Business weekly podcast straight in your inbox. I hope you enjoy this episode, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of my Inspire Your Business podcast. I'm excited to be back. It's been a little bit of a break between episodes here. Long summer, 11 weeks of a kid out of school, but that's okay. We're back. We're doing the thing. And I'm happy to be here to talk to you about something that I feel is pretty exciting for me and something that I want to bring to you and share with you and invite you to come on a little journey with me. So over these past sort of months that I've not, past month, I guess, that I've not been doing the podcast, I've been making jokes. I've been cracking jokes about the podcast that isn't. But really, over this weekend, I sat and did a lot of reflection on sort of why and what's holding me back from doing this weekly. And mostly, I've been thinking about what's been holding me back from actually launching the Inspired Hub membership. And it's made me think that really I'm not alone here. We all have big goals, big dreams, big challenges that we want to accomplish as entrepreneurs. And sometimes it just feels like roadblock after roadblock after roadblock that you come up against. So I did a little bit of work around this weekend in my head, thinking, what are my roadblocks and what's going on to hold me back? And honestly, I think really it's a huge amount of doubt in myself. Am I the one? Am I the one to bring this to people? Are people going to want to sign up for a membership with me? Who am I? Imposter syndrome. We've talked about this loads in other episodes, all the things that we get into our brains and self-talk, self-sabotage to really hold us back. So if you know me, you know my favorite girl, my favorite self-help guru is Jen Sincero. And she is the queen of how to be a bad ass. So oddly enough, all weekend as I sat off sort of relaxing with Lucas and hanging out and chilling out, I really pondered about this, how I was going to come forward, how I was going to move forward, how I was going to really get to an end game here with this. And in the mornings during the week, I like to kind of get up a little bit earlier, have my coffee, and read from whatever book I'm reading at the time. So if you follow me on Inspired Bermuda, I tend to post which book I'm reading. Now, with it being summer, that's been a little difficult. But oddly enough, this morning, I picked up my handy dandy You Are a Badass book by the lovely Jen. And I came to a portion of the book that is called The Big Snooze. Now, I believe this is the universe intervening in my life. So I wanted to share with you in this podcast episode, really, some of this information that Jen's put in her book, because it resonated with me so much. I was so deep in thought about all of this kind of stuff, about what's holding me back. And it just came to me right this morning in this book. So let me read a little bit of this to you. She says, The Big Snooze operates according to your limiting false beliefs. This is the garbage that was stuffed into your subconscious as a kid that doesn't ring true for you, as well as the decisions that you've made about yourself that are less than flattering or empowering. It gets validation from outside sources. It's reactive, fear-based, and extremely committed to keeping you safely confined within the reality you've created based on the limiting false beliefs that you have. So she refers to the Big Snooze, or BS for short, which I kind of love. She talks about really this mindset that we stick in that really holds us back, that we have to really, that really we face when we come up against change. And I think that's where, for myself, I've come up against, this huge shift in how I'm providing services and how I'm running a business, shifting from a business of 22 years that's provided one-to-one services for people to a membership platform to provide knowledge and empowerment for entrepreneurs is a huge game changer, but also a shift in my mentality and really taking a lot of faith. So I'm coming up against roadblock after roadblock after roadblock in my mind. And she says, the Big Snooze, or BS, I like that, is like an overprotective mother who not only doesn't want you to ever go outside, but who wants you to live with her forever. Her intentions are good, but fully fear-based. As long as you stay inside the familiar, risk-free zone of your present reality, the Big Snooze is content. But should you try and sneak past her to attend the rocking party outside, your overprotective, controlling mother, i.e. your mind, is going to claw, scratch, scream, bite, hurl her body in front of your rapidly approaching new life. Basically, she's going to do whatever she can to stop you, and it ain't going to be pretty. I cannot believe that this is what I was reading this morning, because this is exactly how I've been feeling, that all the things I've been doing so this whole year, it's been constant mental blocks of things being thrown at me to hold me back. And I know for a fact that I am not alone in this situation. So what I wanted to do over the next 6 weeks with you is really invite you to come on a journey with me as I battle this, this BS in my brain, as we're going to call it, and how prepare myself for the launch of the Inspired Hub membership. So I sat this morning thinking, it's my birthday coming up soon. Happens to be my birthday's in 6 weeks on the 24th of September. And I thought that's perfect. 6 weeks to launch. And here we go. So if you hang in with me for these episodes over the time, I'm going to talk to you about some things that I'm doing to really get past this mental game of entrepreneurship and get past the things that really many of us face in moving forward to create that dream business that we have. Jen Sincero actually talks about this in relating it to quitting cigarettes or quitting a drug habit, almost like withdrawal symptoms that we go through for weeks as we try to make that change over to that new, better life that we're sort of building for ourselves. And that BS just tries to hold us back. And she also, in her book, really talks about the coincidental things that happen to you when you're trying to make these changes. So as I'm trying to, prepare for you guys today with the podcast, I said I'm getting back into it. Here's my concept. I'm just trying to plan out my 6 weeks. I'm going to do a new podcast episode. Everything's going great. I read this amazing chapter by Jen where she talks about things that sabotage us. She talks about a client of hers that, decided to leave his job only to have his nanny crash the car, thing after thing after thing going wrong. Anyway, you try to open up a pastry shop and it burns down within the first week. Everything was, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's a bit extreme. Go figure. This morning, after reading this, I'm getting ready to leave the house. I'm getting Lucas ready for camp. We're heading out the door. He's playing around, putting his shoes on with my phone, and manages to break the touch screen on it. So now I can't, my phone's completely a mess, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix it. $100 is going to cost. And I said, Jen is exactly right. Here I go, getting this mindset to move forward, to get to the thing, to like really break through. And here's just a roadblock after roadblock. Now my phone's broken. Anyway, it doesn't take my phone to record a podcast. And I figured out a couple of things. So my, what I'm going to do over the next 6 weeks is really bring you on the journey with me in terms of the things that I'm doing, some tips that I'm bringing for my own self that I find that are working, and sort of bring you along on my 6 weeks to launch journey if you'd like to join me. So this week I've been doing a lot of work, so I have a lot of the groundwork set for the hub already, but let me talk to you about a couple of the big things that I'm working on in relation to the hub, to the membership platform. The big things are building the platform, which has been a big challenge. Building the website, building the membership platform shouldn't be as much of a challenge as it is, because I do have the ability to build websites. So it's just really, I believe, carving out the time. The other big thing is building the content, building a podcast every week that's consistent, building the master classes, building out that stuff. So all of this, I have all the groundwork for everything. So why is it not happening? So what I did some work on last week was talking about batching time. And so this week's goal is to intentionally carve out my calendar and intentionally create pockets of time to really dedicate to the big things that are going to make things happen, and be very specific about what those goals are. So this morning, and I invite you to do the same, this morning I sat down and I thought about, okay, what are the next steps on these big things? And what are the wins going to be for the week? What am I going to celebrate on Friday that has moved everything forward? One, of course, will be that there's a podcast episode for you and that we're connecting this way. But, planning out what that goal is on the website that I've gotten it to, what that next step is for the next 6 weeks. So that's goal number one, planning out the calendar, batching out the time to really focus on specific things rather than jumping all over the place. And the other big thing on the list is to create some network building opportunities, because that's really my passion, to bring to you guys, bring everyone together and really create some things around connection of entrepreneurs. So planning an August social event that will be in the evening. We've been doing coffee hours in the morning, so that doesn't work for everyone. So I think it's summer. We can have an evening soiree somewhere. So be on the lookout for that. That will be in person in Bermuda. If anyone's coming to visit, if you're listening to this from overseas, come and join us. Also, I'll be hosting a Q&A session surrounding social media. So it'll be about 15 minutes of kind of social media discussion, and then I will invite you to bring your questions that you have relating to your social media to the table, and we can discuss, learn, grow all together for that. So that's this week of things that I'm going to be doing. A few tips and tricks that I have that I'm going to be implementing that may help you is one, planning out, like I already said, I'm planning out my calendar intentionally with those time chunks. Two, planning out the small milestones that are really going to help me feel like I've accomplished something. And three, and feel like I've accomplished something, and also that I feel like it's actually moving forward. And three, my plan is to unfollow distractions on social media. Now, when I talk about things that are holding me back, self-doubt and worries, imposter syndrome play a huge role in it. But I know for me, part of the roadblocks that are coming up, when we talk about, my phone breaking this morning, it's like one thing after the next. But a big one for me, and I'm sure I'm not alone here, is when you see other people in the same space as you and they're doing kind of the same thing as you, it really makes you feel, or makes me start doubting myself, going, oh my gosh, am I as good? And I've heard even Jenna Kutcher, like if you follow her, and she's the podcast wizard, but I know that it was one thing that held her back in launching a podcast, because she was a huge podcast fan and felt like she could never be at the level of those podcasts that she's listening to. And I thought, duh, absolutely, that's exactly how I feel. I am not Amy Porterfield. I am not Carrie Green. I am just Jen. But here I am. And starting somewhere is better than not starting at all. And so if there's a social media account out there that you're following that's really making you feel like bad or worrying, or you see them and you're like, oh my God, I just can't be like as good as them, unfollow them. Remove that distraction. Remove those things that are causing doubt in your mind. If it's the competition that is launched in the same space as you. It seems like when I came up with this idea for the Inspired Hub back in February, all of a sudden it's like, everybody's launched a membership and everyone's launching a podcast. I said, oh, well, the saying that nobody's going to do your business like you're going to do it rings 100% true when talking about this. So that's one thing I'm going to do this week. It's not because I don't love people that are friends of mine that are in my space, but it's if it's a distraction for you, unfollow. Don't look at it. And I would invite you to go back to my Inspire Your Business episode 1, which was all about staying in your lane and not watching your competition. I mean, I feel like I'm making this for my own self. Go back and listen to it, because it is all about staying true to you, yourself, and put the blinders on to the competition. So week 1 of 6 weeks, here we go. We're going to build the website platform. We're going to work on content building and network building. And so I invite you to really go onto inspired.bm, sign up for my email list, because through there you're going to get all the information about the network building events, and you're also going to get updates through that on the launch and how we're going. And so join me. These are going to come at you on a Tuesday, and I hope that this is helpful to you. Please feel free to connect with me anytime, whether it's through Instagram or on Facebook, or through the website inspired.bm. I'm here anytime that you need some support, you need some cheerleading. I know that I can do it, and I know that you can do whatever your heart, you feel in your heart that your desire to do, and we're here to do it together. So yay, week 1, here we go, and I will catch up with you soon. Bye.